mic's going. Sorry.
What? That's okay. We're going to do Rav Chaim.
You said that.
So we're going to do the Rav Chaim in Hilchos, very famous Rav Chaim in Hilchos Bias Mikdash, Parak Tes Halacha Zayim. But before we do that, before we do the Rav Chaim, we have to get some background information into place. So in order to do the Rav Chaim, we have to do a little background stuff, just so we know. We have to have the same information Rav Chaim's working with before we go to the Rav Chaim. So I know you guys did this in Achana, but let's review it. So go read the Ramams.
Oh,
we got the Ramams first. Got to get the Ramams. I want to make sure we're all clear about them. So start with Parak Gimel in Hilchos Taminim Musafin Halacha Yud.
Okay, Dishon HaMenorah
Hatavas
Haniros Baboker Bim
Stop.
Harbai.
Okay, so what is that? So Dishon is cleaning.
Clean out the ash from the menorah.
Right.
And you
Hatava is
make it good.
Which would let's describe that. What does it mean to make it good?
Well, right now we're gonna say light. It means to light.
No, bold, but no. Don't commit to that yet.
Okay, fine.
I know you want to, but let's assume for now what hatava means is to get it ready. Yeah. Right. So after you clean it out, what do you put in there? Oil and get a wick ready. Okay. Tall wicks. Okay.
Yeah, but Boger ben Arbayim mitzvah seish namar yaroch oso aharon ubanav.
Okay, stop. So at this point in time, right, what would it sound like according to the Rambam? Mitzvahs aseh.
Yeah.
Shenemar yarach oso. Who does it? Aaron ubanav.
So
what's the mitzvah? Kohanim, right? Is that clear?
Yes.
Remember, at this point in time, if you read the Rambam, you would think the mitzvah of halakha. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. The mitzvah of menorah, which seems to be comprised of two things, dishon and hatava, is in the domain of the Kohen, right? The Rambam says the avoda for the menorah starts with dishon, which is to clean out the shmutz from the night before, right? And then to prepare it, that's hatava. Put in the new oil, the wicks, get it ready to go. Okay? Not sure yet about halakha. For now, let's assume it doesn't mean that, but you'll see it probably does. Okay? And then it says a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah saseh for who? Yaroch Oso Aaron Uvana. That seems to imply the Kohanim, right? It's a mitzvah for the Kohanim. Keep going. Okay, so you want to say the halakas and arrows. At this point, based on the Rambam saying, again, I'm going to answer that. I'm not trying to avoid it, but just listen. What is he saying? All of a sudden he says the halakas and arrows dochas Shabbos. So what's the implication? Halakas and arrows is what?
It's different.
Is it
separate-ish?
But he doesn't. But he says the mitzvah. What do? You do dishon and hatava.
Well, also, he separates because when you talk the first part of the halacha, and that's when you meant
as logical as possible. After I do dishon, after I clean out the menorah, what do I have to do next?
No, but hatava could not be a tava.
And then do what?
For sure.
Right. Okay. So at this point in time, the question is going to be: is this relationship between a tava and halakha? Like, what's the deal? Okay. Now skip ahead to halacha yud beis.
Yes.
Okay. Ma'u dishon menorah.
Yeah. Ma'u dishon menorah. So what the heck is that? Kol ner shekach Masir Hafsila B'chol Hashemen Shevner Mekanachal.
Stop. Okay, so what dishon? Dishon is after the ner goes out, right? You clean out the psila. What's a psila? The wick, and all the shemen.
Yeah.
And now remember, the ner here means a ner doesn't mean candle. What does a ner here mean? The lamp, like the thing, the bowl. The
basin.
The basin, right. The clay. So you clean that out, okay? The nosen bo psila acheres, keep going.
Alright, and you gotta, whatever, it's half a look. V'zesha hasir meshlicho b'makom hadeshen eitzel hamizbeach im dishon hamizbeach.
Period. And then umadig ner shekava. You like the one that went out. Yeah, I do. The halachas neros he had hatavasam. Okay, so now, but what's really strange about this Rambam?
Yeah.
Okay, before he says there's in halacha yud sensitivity time. In halacha yud he says dishon menorah v'hatavas nerosea, which sounds like there's how many things? Two. Now listen carefully. He describes dishon. What's dishon menorah? Kol shener.
That seems like the preparation.
No, close.
Yeah.
You're on the right track. According to the Rambam, he describes what dishon is. But the problem is this really dishon? Dishon means to clean. But at a certain point, I'm engaged in this. But the Rambam never says to you, how should the Rambam have said it? He should have said like this. He should have said, Ma'u dishon menorah, clean it out. And then he should have said, Umahi hatavasa, putting in the new wick and putting in new oil. You understand? He doesn't say that. So you never know at what point in time the Rambam shifts over from cleaning to hatava.
Oh, you're saying because he doesn't.
Yaakov's right, but then what does he say? Umadlik ner shekaba. Then you light it, and then halakas and neros hiatavasam.
Right.
But one second. So what does that mean?
Seems like.
So there is no intermediary hatava.
No, it just seems like you satisfied tavasam by lighting it.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is hatava.
Whatever tavasam is.
Right.
Is it necessarily lighting it or?
I mean, at this point, what would it sound like?
Whatever results from the lighting.
Right. So if you looked at the Rambam literally, what would you say? You'd say that
It should means completion.
Oh, say it again.
Completion.
Good. Okay. Ezra's right. Ezra's picking up a good point. At this point, the Rambam, what would you say? You'd say the first Rambam says there's dishon and there's hatava. Okay. The first Rambam says there's cleaning and there's hatava. Never mentions really. He mentions madlik, but I'm not sure what it means. Here he says there's dishon. He seems to imply that preparing for lighting the menorah is somehow part of dishon, but it can't be because then there won't be hatava. But then he says when I light it, that's its hatava. So what is he talking about? He's all over the place. What's he talking about? What does it mean? Halakasa, what's the lashon? Halakas and neros he hatavasam. What does this mean? Lighting it is hatava. What kind of thing is that? What does that mean? Okay, that's going to be one critical issue. Look at the Rambam in Bias Mikdash. Take it away.
Yeah. Zar she'avad b'Mikdash avarasa psula v'chayev misa v'yedei shmayim shnamar v'hazar hakrav yomas mipi hashmua.
The Hazar.
Yeah. Hazar hakrav.
Hakarev.
Hakrav yomas mipi hashmua. Lamdu she'in chiyav zeh el l'karev.
Well, what is Hazar Hakarev? You must mean.
He should be killed.
Close. I just gave it away, by the way. I can't let you give it away, and that's the very word. So Zar, who does avoda on Beis Mikdash, there's two things you have to keep in mind. One is his avoda is pasol, right? And also he's chayiv misa. That's important though, right? Avoda pasol, chayiv misa. Two things. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Right? Anything he does, any avoda he does, at avoda's pasol, the kohen can't use it, and he's chayiv misa.
Yeah.
Okay. Shenamar, Vazar Karv, you must. Keep going.
Yeah. Where did you just read?
Mipia Shmua.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Mipi hashmua lamdu she'en chayav zeh el l'karev alavoda.
Right. So slow down. So what does that mean?
Right. So from what we've learned, right, there's no chiyuv on this except there's no chiyuv to the guy for the zar to do that. Right?
Ella l'kar lavoda.
Yeah. Except to be close to it.
Right. Ve'heichan his your love, and where do we see this hazara?
Right.
Hazar le'ikar aleichem?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Who's a zar?
What does that mean? What did that just mean?
A zar shouldn't get close to them or on them.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Izahu zar kol she'eno mizara.
Mizera.
Aharon has.
So who's a zar? You asked before who's a zar. A zar is
descendants.
well, no. Zar is not one. Right.
Zar, yeah.
Of the male side.
Exactly. Azgar, right? The males. Shenemar arachu b'nei Aharon. B'nei.
Good.
Not-
Victiro b'nei Aaron.
Yeah. Victiro yeah. Okay.
B'nei Aaron?
B'nei Aaron below b'no Zar.
Good. Okay. Next.
Halacha base. Afal vi sha'azarin mizaharin shalo yisasku ba'avodas me'avodos hakarbonos. So even though the zars are warned that they shouldn't be involved exactly in the work of the avoda of the karbanos, in chayav misa, they're not chayav misa. Although we just said
No, Ella.
Ella al avoda tema.
Tama. So when is a non-Kohen chayav in Tama means like complete.
Okay.
When is the zar chayav misa?
This is the best.
Ezra, finish the Rambam. So he says Ella avoda Tama, lo al avoda sheish acharei avoda. Right, that's not avoda Tama. Right, it's the last avoda.
Yeah, ve'en hazar chayav misa ella al arba avodos bilah.
There's only these four that he's chayav misa on, which are Zrika,
Haktira, Nisach Mayim, Nisach Hayan Tamid.
Oh, you're fine. Now next halacha was halacha vav, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shchita zakachem.
Yeah, Shchita zakachem kshera zarim. Afilu kadshe kadosh kachem. Right. So the kachem right? That's carbon, right? Yeah. So that they're allowed to do. All right. Being kadshe yachid, being kadshe tibor.
Okay, stop. So what's the halacha? Halacha is that a zar. Now we get to things that are mutter. Okay. Let's start actually with shchita. So shchita.
What was having to say? Bain.
What do you mean, bain?
Bain yachid.
Oh, that's a good question. That's not separate sugya. That's a good question. Though. That's a good question. Okay, Shchita equals mutter. Let me get them wrong in a second. Okay. So there's a reason why I'm bringing in Shchita. All right, I'm not just for factual information.
Has some kind of,
So Shneimar v'shachad has been a bakar.
yeah. Ben Bakar lefnei
Hashem.
Ve'krivu b'nei Aaron mekabla v'ilach mitzvah kahuna.
Mikabala v'elach mitzvahs kahuna. So what's Kabbalah?
Accepting the blood.
Right. So again, just to make sure we know our order. So, well, you guys know the order, right? Shchita. After Shchita comes Kabbalah, Halacha, and Zrika. Okay. So Shchita is the only thing the Tsar can do. Okay. Okay.
Why is it? And then only finishing.
We'll get to that in a second. Oh, so that's okay. Yaakov's asking a good question because we would think that there's two categories. All right. There's Tama and Eina Tama. Right. So this doesn't seem to be. It's certainly not a Tama. Right. It seems like Eina Tama. So why would this be an exception? So Shchita. Okay. So just finish Rambam, then we'll answer that. So Shchita is what? V'cheina hefshev anituach. What is that? Or lechas eitzim mizbeach. What's hefshet anituach?
I don't know.
You do. Hefshet is taking off like the skin, right? Or nituach, which is cutting it up, preparing things that have to do with the animal, or for instance, taking eights into the mizbeach. Okay, and you don't have to finish the rest of the Rambam before you get to Zion. So Yaakov's question is, well, what's different about shchita? So what makes shchita different? Why is shchita mutter for zar? And the reason why we have to know this is because it's not going to be the reason why menorah is kasher for the zar. Okay, I'm trying to go categorically.
So then, what does that mean? You don't need to know it.
Why would shchita be mutter?
Well,
It can be done anywhere.
Well, what makes? Let's compare shchita to malika. I think it's the right way to do it.
There's no. But there's a mitzvah.
We're saying, which he meant to say, is correct. In other words, why is shchita different? So shchita is what the Rambam is telling you is based on the Gemara. Shchita is on a mitzvah of the Kohen. Why is it on a mitzvah of the Kohen?
So everyone can do it.
Everyone does shchita, right? Malika though, only the Kohen can do. It's only the Kohen Gadol can do it. So it's a mitzvah for him to do. But there's no mitzvah Kohen as shchita. Shchita is a necessary prerequisite to do the korban, but it's not based on the what? It's not based on being a Kohen. Because there's a general idea of shchita.
so then you wouldn't.
It is avoda, but because it's something that everyone can do, right? That's why the Tsar's allowed to do it. See, in other words, I can't answer. This is the point where I have to stop. I can't answer the why to this. You asked methodology. This is a methodology point. I can't answer. They didn't. For some reason, the Torah did not make up a separate system of shchita for karbanos. It said there's shchita, and there's just something called shchita that everybody can do. Now, shchita happens to be an avoda for the Beis Mikdash as well.
Wow.
So there happens to be a point where they converge.
Why would it be different?
What I'm saying is
Why would you want the desire?
Shchita is the mechanism. It's a hechsher. It takes that which is usher and makes it permissible to now eat. That's what shchita does.
A live animal is awesome.
Right, it's usher. So it's the same thing by the korban. It's not the function is exactly the same. So since that function is exactly the same, even though it is technically avoda, it's considered something the Tsar can do. Okay, that's as far as I want to go insofar as shchita is concerned, because it's a huge sugya. All right, but I'm just bringing that in because you got to know the reason why it's mutter is not the reason why menorah is mutter. It's not because we light candles outside the outside the Beis Mikdash. They go to Zion. V'chein alakas and eros.
V'chein alakas and eros ksher b'zeh b'zarim lefikach im hetev
Shira bizarim.
es haneros v'otzion lachotz mutter l'sar lahadlikan.
All right. So what's the case?
So
he said slowly.
Yeah.
So halakas and neros is kosher for a zar.
Okay.
A non-Kohen.
So
No, we know what kosher means. What does it sound like?
well, it sounds like if he lit it, it's kosher.
The
The voda was done.
vote was done. That's more like it. Because what's the opposite of
I
kosher?
wouldn't say the voda was done.
Puzzle.
Pasul,
I
right?
wouldn't say the voda is done here.
Well, it says ksher, so.
Just kshera.
Okay, it says kshir, but it's not the complete avoda.
What does that mean? Are the candles lit? Oh, whoa! Okay, 1 second. Another good point. Say it again. Say it again.
You put them with.
Im heitiv Kohen and eros. If the Kohen goes ahead and now what does heitiv here mean? He sets it up, ve'otzion l'chotz, and he takes them outside. Mutar l'zar lahadlikan. The zar cannot go ahead and light it. So Tamir is hitting on a good point.
Can or can't?
It says mutar l'zar likan. He's allowed to light it. Okay, meaning implying there's nothing deficient whatsoever in the zar lighting the menorah. Correct? Yaakov, who has to do atava?
He comes.
He has to. Hatava cannot be done outside the base of Mikdash.
Right.
Okay? So the Kohen does Hatava. He brings a menorah outside to the, what's really nearest, whatever. He brings a menorah outside to the Czar. What does the Czar do? He lights the menorah. Right? No problem whatsoever. You understand that?
5 seconds.
The Czar, a non-Kohen is
A lot of things
allowed,
going on.
the non-Kohen is allowed to light the menorah.
Alright.
The only way you
I
can
got
light the menorah is when the Kohen does Hatava inside.
The only time you can't light the menorah?
He can. The only way this would work
Yeah.
is for the Kohen to prepare the menorah and then bring it outside.
Okay.
So my question is very simple. Where is the Maisa Mitzvah here? What's the Maisa Mitzvah?
Right. Like, as in which
Who
guy
did
was doing
it? Yeah, which guy did it?
Is
The Tsar?
Hatava is inside.
if lighting is a tava. And
Okay.
mitzvah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so what does the Tsar do then?
You know what? Nobody.
So the Ravid argues when the Rambam says it's mutter lazar laligan, he doesn't buy. What do you mean mutter? Elo she'im he ligan sheros.
Well, you said that.
Meaning that he said it's got to be subtle. The Ravid saying that the way you set this up is that it's not that it's lechatchila. The Ravid says what? The Ravid says
B'diavad.
zar equals b'diavad. Okay, the zar would be yotze b'diavad.
One more time. Hifli kishamar mutzah l'zar likin.
When the Rambam says mutter lazar lahadlikan, right?
Yeah.
They can't mean that it's that implies a hachila.
he already-
Ella she'imin likan ksheros.
Why is it much?
And the explanation of his argument is as follows: the Rotze Lomar,
The Rotzif.
that he wants to say
The Rotzif lamar dinahi.
the Nehi Dahadlaka
He did halakha lav avoda.
he
He below mifsal bazar.
right. So what is the Ravid's argument? He's saying that halakha. It sounds like halakha is not what? Not avoda. Okay.
That's the Ravid's argument.
V'lo mifsal
Was
balzar.
Ravid saying that about the Rambam?
Yeah,
Ravid saying that about himself.
That would be the implication.
That Ravid saying.
Ravid saying the implication of Rambam is that the reason why the Zar can do it is because it's not avoda altogether. How's that
So
possible?
Ravid reading the Rambam. That's Ravid reading himself.
The Ravid on the Rambam.
Okay.
Aval mikol makom mitzvasa b'kohen, right? But nonetheless, it's still a mitzvah for the kohen to do. Ugedichsiv b'kra b'hal lo sechas aneros, meaning when the kohen does it. Thou korkach, and therefore you must say asher lazar lahadlik lechatchila, right? V'rak de kevan de psula de zar leisa gaba al korkach imilikan ksheros b'di evet. So the Ravid is saying is that you can't possibly tell me the easy way to learn is like this: the halakha is not really avoda, right? And therefore, there's nothing puzzle for the Zar to do.
Because
Halakha, that's what we're saying. Halakha is not avoda.
Because it's nothing.
What do you mean halakha is not avoda?
It's not a voda. It can't be possible in that mutter. It's nothing.
Okay, and therefore, but yet it's mikol makom mitzvasa b'kohen. But nonetheless, whoever should do the halakha scenario should be who? The kohen. So the Ravid's movement.
Why?
What do you mean why? It says b'halosachas and eros. The Torah says when you
So
do
it's not
it,
the voda. It's the Cohen's voda.
it's the Kohen's thing to do.
Right. It's not a voda.
Right,
it's
but
the Cohen's.
the Rav Chaim's saying the Ravid's saying the easy way to set it up is to say that halakha is not a voda. So if it's not a voda,
How do you say that?
hold on.
What's the problem saying?
One
That's
step at a
very
time.
nice. It is.
So Dylan wants to say, I hear that. So Dylan wants to say that the Ravid's saying that it's only in a vote on the framework of the Kohen. For everyone else, is nothing.
So it doesn't matter.
It's not a non-avoda.
A rat could do
So
Right.
if it wasn't done.
Okay, but
How can you say?
Okay. So hold on. So Ezra's right. So let's just let him
say that.
talk.
Why?
You'll see. Let him talk a little bit. And we're gonna besides we're focusing more on the Rambam, not the Ravid.
you
You'll
read,
see.
please?
No. Oh, you're fine. Okay.
Right.
Vasher Yir Lomer Bezeh. Right. Dibe emes gam harambam sfirale, and then really the Rambam agrees. Kain the yisod hach mitzvah da halakha saneros he dafka b'kohen lechachila. So now the Rav Chaim's going to get very innovative. He's going to say the Rambam also means to say it's an issue of the chachila b'diavad. How's he going to do that?
Is next to you.
What? What'd you say? Okay. So how's he going to do that? Achein kol zehu b'madlik bifnim. Because everything we're talking about, when is it lechatchila for the Kohen?
So
Inside.
Inside. Madlik bifnim. It's lechatchila when he lights it. Why would it be lechatchila madlik bifnim?
Because the mitzvahs are to be lit there.
Very good. That was right. The mitzvah, the Rav Chaim saying is the mitzvah is for it to be lit
Does
bifnim.
that mean actually just lit or light?
Oh, hold
Lit.
on. I'm happy you're hitting the right points.
Bifnim being where?
It's good. You guys are saying good. This is
Bifnim
good.
being where?
Ashe'ena came b'otzi on the chutz, unlike when you take it outside. Now listen to what he says. The etzem maisa ha'adlaka b'shaita. Okay, so the Maisa, the action of lighting at its time, Lo Havya Od Maisa Mitzvah Klal. That's not the actual Maisa HaMitzvah. The Mitzvah Dafka Behechal. There's the mitzvah to the. You got to see what I'm saying. The Maisa Mitzvah, the action of mitzvah, can only take place where?
Inside.
Inside. Okay, it can't take place outside.
So when the Zar did it, it's not a mitzvah.
Oh, hold on. Became on Dirak Acharkach. Now listen to what he says. Kishehi omedes deluka behechal bimkoma. Only afterwards, when it is standing lit in the heichal in its right place, as hu dahave kiyum mitzvasa b'dinea. That is the point in time where the mitzvahs in Mekayim. One is a mitzvah Mekayim.
So only the.
So Ezra's going to hit on. That's what you're going to work on for tomorrow. Ezra's hitting on exactly the big problem Chaim's going to run into, which is that it would seem like that at this point then that what's halakha?
Halacha.
No,
Well,
it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. The Rav Chaim's very cute. Rav Chaim wants to say that there's no Maisa here. There's no true Maisa. Rather, it's the mitzvah is to have lit candles of the menorah in the Makom HaHeichal.
So you can't say
that's the mitzvah.
So lighting's probably no one's.
But then that would imply the Zar lights it. So then what? Lighting's nothing. Think back to the Rashi we did. What did Rashi say about Nachos and mitzvah? Remember what he said? He said the Eker mitzvah is Hanacha.
Right.
Eker mitzvah Toliba, which would imply what?
It's required, but not required.
Hanacha is the most important thing, but it doesn't mean that Havaka is nothing. Remember our case? We said you can't take a lit candle that was lit for a tashrish purpose.
Lighting defined.
Right. So this is okay. So let me just go a little further. He says Al Korchach.
And if it was
Al Korchach Memela. Al Korchach Memela de lo shayach mitzvahs kahuna ha'amar b'halaka rakish madlika b'mkoma. So when we say there's a mitzvah for the kohen to light, we're saying only when it's lit in its right place. Aval kishahotzion lechutz ve'likan. But when you take it outside and light it, bazeh sfira leila ramam demuter gam lezar lalikan lechatchila. But when the menorah is no longer in the heichal, but it's outside, at that point in time, it's mutter for him to light it lechatchila. Okay? Kevan, de'ena od, listen to what he says, de'ena od bichlal halakas ha-menorah klal. Because it's no longer part of the category of halakas ha-menorah. What is he saying? What's he saying? So he says, Omnam kain de'ima yahadin dezaras psula balakas aneros. And why do you have to say this? Now, this is called inverse logic. I use this word all the time. This is the Rav Chaim's version of inverse logic.
What is inverse logic?
You'll see. Why does it have to be this way? Because if the Tsar was puzzled to light the menorah, az lo hava mechalkinan klal bein likam ifnim likam mechutz. Circular logic. So if it was puzzled for the Tsar to light the menorah, right? So then, why would you ever distinguish between lighting inside and outside? It's irrelevant. He just can't light the menorah. Period. So there's the very fact, what's he saying? Flip the coin around. The very fact we do make a distinction between inside and outside tells you that what? There's something different going on outside. There's something different going on. And that's why the Tsar can light. Okay. No. And since once he brings it inside, listen to what he says. This is the point, this is what you're asking for. Chaser behechshara din maisa kahuna amarba. If the Tsar lights it outside, what's lacking now? Chaser behechshara din maisa kahuna amarba. It's lacking in what? The hechsher, right? The preparation, right? Of the maisa the Kohen did, right? In placing it, right?
What?
Well, no, not in placing it. In what?
Lighting.
In lighting it. Okay? But since the whole thing that Kohen does is really not ma'akev, but is rather from mitzvah, the kol zehu rak b'shaita be'ez kiyum mitzvasa v'lo b'hilika b'chutz. Okay, so it's only this. The Rambam's beautiful at this point according to Ravid, because with the Rambam, he's just explaining what the Rambam's saying. He's not explaining how the Rambam makes sense. He's just saying this is what the Rambam's saying. What the Rambam's saying, this is how he thinks. As you're getting to, this is why Rav Chaim is brilliant. First, he wants to show you this is what the Rambam's saying. What's the Rambam saying? The Rambam's saying is that there's no Maisa mitzvah of halakha. The Maisa mitzvah for the Kohen is to
have it lit
in its makom. Once I break that idea, right? So you can't tell me that the Tsar is doing the mitzvah of the Kohen, The mitzvah of, as he says, is the kiyum mitzvah. Kiyum mitzvah is gone. So what do you have left?
No.
No.
Okay.
Halakha.
Okay.
There is an idea of halakha. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Here's the question. That's the question Rav Chaim's going to ask now. What the heck? The Rambam is so convoluted. Why not just say the mitzvah to do what?
Right.
To light the candles. Well, this is insanity.
I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, there's the Rambam. According to Rav Chaim is saying as follows. Thank you for asking that question. Okay, it shows you following. Look, the Rambam is saying as follows. The Rambam is saying that no, is l'chadchila the Zar can light the menorah outside. Why? Because we have a chiluk. We have a differentiation. When it's inside, that's the mitzvah for the kohen. The mitzvah of the kohen is to have lit menorah in the
Are there
heichal.
two mitzvahs then?
No, there's only one mitzvah.
So isn't he doing the Kohen's mitzvah?
No, one
If
second.
you're to light it.
But he can't because only the kohen can do hatava.
Okay.
Right? Again, the
That's
mitzvah
not-
is to have lit candles in the makom. What is that? What's required to get to that point?
What?
Dishon, hatava,
And
then lighting the hatava, lighting it. But there's no Maisa mitzvah the Kohen's doing of lighting the menorah. That's not the Maisa mitzvah.
It's all prep for the hanacha. Really hanacha. I don't want to.
Well, it has to be that's right makom.
Right.
Okay, don't say hanacha yet.
Right.
And it's right
Prep for the
makom.
makom.
Right. But therefore, if I take the menorah outside, right, what can happen?
Any
Now?
which way.
If I take the menorah outside, okay, at that point in time, once I've done that, okay, and now the czar lights it, which you know he's allowed to light it.
Why can't he light it inside?
Because he can't go inside. The czar can't go inside the heichal. What's taking place at that point?
Nothing.
Well, we have a lit. No, it's not true. He's lit
is
the
nothing.
menorah.
What do you want from
He's lit the menorah.
It's a menorah that's a lit. Great. It's not lit.
No, it's not. He lit the menorah, but he didn't do the mitzvah of the Kohen.
why
Well,
not?
the Rambam's
no, no.
so the Rambam's positing that there could be reality to the menorah, to halakas nearest menorah, outside of the mitzvah of the Kohen, lechatchila. Because once you breach this border,
What's the mitzvah then?
what?
What is the mitzvah?
Okay, so that's what Ezra's asking.
Hold on.
Ezra's asking even stronger than that. You're asking what's the mitzvah? That's a great question. But Ezra's going further. Well, what kind of formulation is this? Why shouldn't the mitzvah just be I have a mitzvah to do ma'aseh halakha? That's it.
Is that all the mitzvah?
That's what.
So how's that not doing the Kohen's mitzvah? If you were just
He can't do the Kohen's mitzvah.
What do you
Well, he
mean?
did.
You
Sort
can't. So
of.
if you light, you're doing the Kohen's
But
mitzvah.
he's not, because that's doing the mitzvah of the Kohen. The mitzvah of the Kohen can only be what? In the heichal.
Okay.
So he can't do the mitzvah of the Kohen, but he's doing something. He's doing halakha. But he's not doing the mitzvah of the Kohen. So now what does he have?
He's
like
like something. What do you mean? You mean mitzvah dick?
Is the menorah now lit?
But that doesn't mean he did something.
But something was done.
He lit the menorah. Doesn't mean he did anything.
But something was done enough that let's put it this way: does the Kohen have to put it out and relight it?
No.
No. So he was fulfilled the obligation or the necessity of
he
having.
prepped it.
No, he didn't prep it because he lit it.
No, but at the end of the day, the mitzvah was just to have it lit somewhere. So
Something.
lighting is
The point of this.
Lighting is preparation.
When the Kohen drags the menorah, the lit menorah back into the heichal.
No, he did it.
No, he didn't do it.
When the Kohen drags the living
No, except for one problem. What was missing?
What is the mitzvah?
That's the question.
No,
what was
stop
missing?
it. Why did he do the mitzvah when he dragged it?
Yeah, the halakha.
Who said that he missed that?
That we didn't need that.
So now, 1 second. So
Who said
again,
he needed that?
what do you mean? The mitzvah of the Kohen is to do
just
what?
made this up.
What's the mitzvah of the Kohen according to the
Like,
Rambam?
it
According to
almost- nothing, really.
What's the mitzvah according to No, what's the mitzvah? To have
A lit nair.
a lit nair.
It's not even really just
In the
I
month.
don't
But
know.
1 second. So once I go.
If this air pushed it in there, is that good? Why
What-
not?
No.
He lit it and pushed it. Why not?
That's
Look, Cohen, look, the menorah's lit and it's in there. Why not?
Al korach shapir Yisrael the Rambam the kol zeh hu rak b'shaita be'es kiyam mitzvasa the lo behinlika b'chutz. Once I light it outside, at that point in time, I've now passed outside the
say-
border of the mitzvah of the Kohen. That's lost. That's lost.
Wait, so why you haven't said it yet? Why? Why can't the Cohen drag it back?
He can drag it back.
And how we know he can't drag it back?
He can. He does it. He does drag it back.
If he dragged it back, he didn't do the mitzvah.
No, but it's too late. It's too late.
Who said it? The mitzvah? This is to have it lit.
Because that's what he's saying. He's saying in order.
saying?
Simple.
Who is he reading? He's reading the Rambam,
The Rav Chaim's reading of the Rambam.
and he's saying it's of course now we have axioms. It's impossible that.
Correct.
Who said?
That he said. Now we're going to.
Psych, I don't buy it.
But
Why
you're
not?
worried about the